You are in for a real treat. This episode was originally recorded for my other podcast, but for you, it's been upgraded and transformed, and now you have the Ask the Pro show. So everything mentioned in this episode will now be found on chrisdufay.com, plus so much more, as I've designed the Ask the Pro podcast and chrisdufay.com to give you exactly what you need to grow your business success and for you to have the money, the freedom, and the happiness you want, making a bigger and better impact to the world unselfishly. So now it's time to delve straight into this episode, and I want you to lap up and enjoy every single second of it. Nathan Chan, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast, mate. I'm really pumped up to get into this episode as you've got a lot going on, and I just want to absolutely get into the nuts and bolts of what's happening with Founder Magazine, what you're doing, and why we're both talking to each other as soon as we've both woken up. And I think this is a good thing. So before we get into this, Nathan, I just want to say a huge thank you for taking the time for this, mate.
You're absolutely welcome, Chris. Yeah, it's my pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So let's kind of just have a little bit of an overview before we start diving into these questions that I've got here. Now, who is Nathan Chan? What is Founder Magazine? And why are you so phenomenal?
Yeah, wow. Okay, so
you've got to live up to it now.
Yeah, I know. Well, firstly, thank you for the kind words. Pretty much, Founder's a digital publication. Founder Magazine is a digital publication on the App Store and Google Store. And it's about entrepreneurship, and we're targeting mobile and tablet devices. So close to 3 years ago, I started this magazine, and it's about entrepreneurship, and what I'm trying to do with it is really show people what it takes to become a successful entrepreneur. And I started it while I was working my day job, and it took me about a year to build it up, to leave my day job, replace operating costs, and pay myself a very marginal wage. And fast forward to now, we've become really a multifaceted media platform where we service over 1 million entrepreneurs.
That's awesome.
Across all of our assets. And we have, it's much more than a magazine now. We have a high traffic website. We're really focused on our social channels. We have a podcast, which is like a radio show, just like you. We've got training products, and that's a little bit about Founder. And me, I'm just a regular guy that was working in an IT job, Melbourne, Australia. Just never started a business before. Didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. Didn't know anything about publishing. Didn't know anything about apps or design. But I just had this dying, I guess, desperation to find work that I could enjoy. And I just knew deep down that I was always destined for so much more. I don't know why. I don't know where that came from. But once I found this thing and conceived just Founder, which is really just an idea, it just became an obsession. And what you see today is just relentless hours of hard work and hustle. I don't see myself as you said, just a phenomenal human being or anything like that. I just really like helping people, and I've found something that I'm really passionate about. And I'm not a super smart guy. I just work ridiculously hard, bro.
I think that's really good insights, and I know this can be a really nice and refreshing slap to the face to the listener that needs to hear that. Like, you are doing something absolutely, and I'll use the word phenomenal again, and it shows just before we hit record when we were chatting, like the growth that you're going through and what the actual problems you're having now, which are great problems, but due to so much growth, is happening because of hard work. It's not like you're given anything. Like you said, you started from the IT job. What I would actually love to know is, like, it kind of sounds like Founder was founded through scratching your own itch. Like, you wanted to know more about entrepreneurship, so therefore that's where you went down to help others do that as well.
Yeah, pretty much. So with the magazine, what you see, what I've done today, like, that wasn't all planned out, man. That was like really just trying to seek and the perfect business model and just try and seek what's working, what's not, and what the strategy is. So when I started Founder Bro, I didn't even think, literally when I launched, I didn't even think that I would be able to, I should even try to get in touch with Richard Branson. And we featured him for issue number 8. So I wasn't even thinking on that scale. I was just like, how can I create this magazine about entrepreneurship? And I know that there's many aspiring and novice entrepreneurs out there. I know that there isn't really a magazine tapping into this, I guess, target audience. And that's all I knew. I really didn't think that far ahead. Like now I'm playing 2-3 years in advance. But back then, man, it really was just putting out the feelers, just really listening and trying to find out what people wanted and really craft out our own kind of niche, but also brand and product and the way we do things. So yeah, I didn't have it all planned, but I did know I was scratching my own itch.
So it was also kind of like you're failing quickly, failing forward, like seeing what works. It just doesn't work, pivot, try something else, and the strategy evolves as you learn more about what's going on. Would that be about right?
Yep, exactly.
Awesome. Okay, so I think this is great for the listener to take on board, because this is what entrepreneurship is. This is what you need to do, and you went through the exact steps. And obviously, you were soaking up and learning about this as you were being able to create this yourself. What I'd love to kind of dive into now, Nathan, was you talked about before, this is really turned into a media platform, what Founder's doing. What mediums were you going through, and what worked, what hasn't worked so far for you?
Well, I guess we've tried a few different mediums, and I never thought that we'd turn into a multifaceted brand. The way I worked that out was because there was this epic website called Mequoda, MEQODA, and it was one of my friends told me about it. So something that I think I do it really, really well, which really, really helps Founder excel and kick goals, is I'm constantly networking and meeting people and hustling and trying to learn from other people and not just speak to someone, soak as much info as I can and then forget about them. Create a friendship and of course serve first and ask later. So if I, catch up or want to speak to somebody, I'll reach out and I will help them, and then I'll obviously ask them some questions too. And that's been really, really powerful for me to work out all the moves that I'm making. And there was another digital magazine owner that I respected a lot, and he told me about this website called Mequoda, and he's in a totally different niche to me. He's in he's got a magazine like GQ and Playboy, and he's absolutely crushing it. And he was like, you should check out these guys. They know what's up. And that website, I never signed up to any of their paid stuff. Just reading their blog posts really changed the game for me. And I realized that, it's founders for us to become a really, really successful company, we can't just rely on the magazine. And I kind of had that feeling as well, because it's really just an entry-level product, man. It's $2.99 a month or $21.99 a year. So that's a very, very low price point. And what I realized was, we can't just rely on the magazine. We need other, and this is what this Mequoda website always talked about. You have many other platforms. So right now they recommend having, other ways to monetize too. Not just treat it like the old traditional route of publishing where you might have subscriptions and then you have advertising, and that's really it. Yeah. So we're trying all sorts of different mediums. I did try and grow a Facebook page and pay for likes, which was kind of dumb, but that was just something that I had to work out. And in the early days, I did try and grow a blog for customer acquisition, and we weren't doing a very good job at that, but that was just something that we're getting quite good at now, but it's taken some time to get better at. But to be honest with you, Chris, we have tried many other mediums, and if we do try them, we just kind of stick with them. If they don't work, nothing really, we just kind of pull our attention away. And the ones that we do find, we just, absolutely double down on. So like, for example, our podcast, that's going quite well. We're just super consistent there and just keep providing really great content. And that's really just repurposing a lot of the content we have for the magazine. Then, for our Instagram page, which has been an amazing growth channel for us, we've built that from 0 to closer to 600K followers now, and that we've done that in about 13 months.
Wow, that's really jumped a lot in the last few months, hasn't it?
Yeah, because we just keep building that momentum.
That's great.
Just doubling down on that. Our Twitter, that's not bad. It's not a massive one for traffic, but we've just which brings about probably 5% of traffic a month to us. Like we just keep chipping away at it. But it's not an amazing channel for us. Same with like Pinterest. We don't really do anything there. We tried some things with there, and same with Facebook, our Facebook page. Like we don't really do anything there. We really use Facebook to pay, like as a pay to play platform, and that's really great for customer acquisition. So yeah, does that answer your question?
No, that's really good. No, I think it's really nailed it, and it's opened up some really key kind of roads that we can go down now. One thing kind of brought up, and I think the listener will be really keen on, is Instagram. Like, how have you gone from, all right, let's start our Instagram page, to over 600,000 followers? What are a couple of the key things looking back that you think have been like, okay, with that was the gold right there? We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back in a split with so much more for you. Now, I know you're listening and tuning in because you know how important your health is and how this can also catapult your business. This is why I'm very happy to say that this podcast is sponsored by My Body Blends and my favorite, the Superfood Elixir, the powerful greens drink. Now, this is designed specially to boost energy, aids detoxification, enhances the ability to burn fat, supports healthy carbohydrate metabolism, and best of all, is voted best tasting greens drink. Now, myself and the My Body Blends team are looking for ambassadors to join, so you and your clients get the health benefits plus adding in a strong income stream for you and your business. The ambassador program, which is by application only, means you get exclusive access to sell My Body Blends products like Superfood Elixir to your clients, plus giving you the special ambassador pricing and bonuses. So once you become an ambassador, you can join the other top health and fitness players that are adding thousands to their week's income. Now, there is only a limited number of ambassadors we are taking on board, as this is a tribe leading the way together. So to apply and to join, go to mybodyblend.com/ambassador. or add the checkout code that is TurningPro, all one word, when you're going to get your own Superfood Elixir to order. Plus, you're going to get free shipping and a bonus to save yourself over $250 instantly. So just use that coupon code TurningPro in the checkout and you can save over $250 right now, all on mybodyblend.com.
First part about that was just looking for that channel. So back then, before I even found that channel, I was looking for more channels. Like I was testing other mediums, like we're trying blogging, and blogging is a great place to build your website. Now our website gets over 100,000 hits a month, which isn't too bad. It's growing fast, but the blog is really generating a lot of that traffic now. But back in the day, over a year ago, we weren't doing a very good job at it. So that piece, it's been a work in progress, and I knew that was going to be a great piece, but I don't think we've mastered it like we have Instagram. And so the first thing was just looking for that channel, looking for that explosive channel where you can really just get some serious growth. And I think you need at least one of those channels, at least one.
Yeah.
And then once you've found that channel, you just need to just get super aggressive. And then the way I found that channel was just from testing. And then the way I amplified the growth of that channel was just like what I said. I did with finding out, about, the vision for Founder being a multifaceted brand, just speaking to people. I remember before I left my day job, I had a reader of the magazine who also is actually from Melbourne. His name's Brad. He's a really cool guy. he reached out to me and said, "Oh, hey, look, Nathan, massive fan of your work. I run an Instagram page. It's got like 18,000 followers. It's about entrepreneurship. Like, I'd love to post about the Branson issue and get you more readers." And I was like, okay. He's like, this is how much it costs. And I tried that, and it didn't really work. And so I paid for a share. And the reason it didn't work was because I tried to tell people, like on Brad's page, go to, foundermag.com/Branson or iTunes or Android and stuff like that. And what I should have done was to tell people to go back to follow our page and then click on the link in our bio.
Right. So it's kind of like add an extra step in that might be a little bit more native and easier for them.
Yeah, exactly. And I forgot about the whole Instagram thing for a while.
One bloody link.
Yeah, that's right. That one link. And so, yeah, I forgot about the Instagram thing for a while, and I just left it. And then I was bringing on an intern because, I'd left my job. Things were going okay. But, we weren't going nowhere. We weren't even scratching the surface for how fast we're going now. And I thought, okay, let's just bring on an intern, get some more help. It was still just me doing everything. I'd left my job. I was still putting out the feelers, trying to work things out. And what happened was I said to myself, I'll get our intern just to start posting on our Pinterest and just to start posting on our Instagram. But first things first, let's work out how this Instagram thing works. And I hopped onto our Instagram. I used to have a friend that was interested in social media. He was working on our Instagram page, and I hadn't, like when I first started Founder, so I hadn't logged into it for like 13, 14 months at least. We had like a few hundred followers and maybe 50 images, but it wasn't doing anything, wasn't getting any traction. We weren't even doing the best job. So I logged in and I did a couple of posts and just trying to work out how to use Instagram. I remember thinking to myself, it's quite an intimidating platform. I didn't know how it worked. And yeah, like I noticed like a couple of spikes. I posted a couple of images and I noticed a massive spike in our Google Analytics for sales of the magazine. And it wasn't like anything major. It was like a couple $100. And I was just like, ooh, we're onto something here. And then, I looked at Brad's account and his account was at like 50,000 followers, 6 months later. And I also should mention one of my friends, Jake, who has like, 30 Instagram pages, and he's just a freak on Instagram in the health niche. Like before I even jumped on Instagram, he was telling me some tips and things that I should do to grow it. And, just like, took it from there, and like I just learned a ton from Jake. Caught up with Brad. He introduced me to some people. I helped him a ton with all sorts of things. And then I worked out a whole ton of things by myself. And that just took us down this path just to really, really amplifying the growth of our Instagram. Would you like me to share with you some of those things?
Yeah, let's go into that. I think that would be really interesting.
Yeah, so that's a story in a long-winded way.
That's all right. Let's go. Strap yourself in.
Yeah. Look, let's give you some actionable stuff. So the thing with us now is we're just super consistent on Instagram. Like we post anywhere between 5 to 7 times a day because we've worked out that the more you post, the faster you grow. Is it spammy? I don't think so, as long as you train your audience to expect to be receiving a lot of posts for us. And because we're posting a lot, that means we can ask for the sale. So we have a strategy like Gary V.
Like an 80-20 rule of it, like 80% content, 20% kind of sell.
Yeah, exactly. Jab, right hook.
Awesome, I'm with you.
And because we post so often, that allows us to ask for sale quite frequently, which in turn allows our email database, which is the most important thing to us.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, if you have an online business, you have to really you have to have some sort of strategy for your email marketing and building your email newsletter community and working out how you can further that relationship. And that's our number one. Like, dude, that is our number one goal. Like, I don't really care that much around how many Instagram followers we have. I care around how many people we can get onto our email newsletter community and really properly build a relationship with them. Of course, Instagram's amazing for impact and spreading the word, But we are constantly trying to get people to download, a free guide or something from us, or listen to the podcast or read the magazine and stuff like that. And we've used Instagram to generate over 100,000 email newsletter subscribers in the past year. So that's our biggest focus. So we post a lot and we post consistently. We've posted, I've only missed one day of posting since we've been on Instagram.
What happened?
I was traveling around India. Me and my girlfriend, we went to our designer of the magazine's wedding in India.
Oh, fantastic.
And, just transit internet, just couldn't get on.
That's all right. But that's understandable.
Yeah, and now I have some more help, and I have our virtual assistant pretty much running our Instagram page now. But so that was a big one. Just working out just frequency and consistency is massive. Just building that momentum. Think of it like the snowball effect. And then just having images that are really, really great. I think aesthetics is really key. And then also really knowing your audience, knowing your market, and knowing the kind of content to post and having a consistent theme. So when somebody comes to your page, what do like the first 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 images look like? And then, of course, I think, I think it really goes without saying the content is really king on Instagram. It's such a visual platform. You have to be able to tell a great story about your brand through your images. And then another thing that's worked extremely well for us, and this has been one of our biggest keys to growth, is shout out for shout out, share for share. That has been absolutely massive. And what that means is, what a share for share is, or a shout out for shout out is it's essentially partnerships on Instagram, and you want to get as many accounts as you can to shout you out. Now, you can pay for that. We haven't really done much paid acquisition. We've done a little bit for our growth, but that growth that we have done is just to build our email list, not really to get followers. So you can pay for shout outs, but the best way and the cheapest way, which is not going to cost you anything, is to get other accounts to shout you out. And that has been absolutely game changing. We try and do like 3 to 5 of those a day. And, it's just all about networking. It's all about business development. And,
can I just jump in there, Nathan, because you brought up some really, really good stuff. Obviously, you just said it's all about networking. We kind of were touching about that before. And I think it's so timely. The last episode that will actually be published before yours, Nathan, was with Jordan Harbinger. And we were talking about how to go about this the right way, and how it's actually, like you said it as well, it's like you've got to give first before you think you can start taking. And obviously the actual putting it together of your Instagram page is building other relationships with people and being able to help them, and they're helping you. And the shout out for shout out, essentially, scratch my back and I'll scratch yours, but equal value has to come here. Like someone with 2,000 followers, I wouldn't expect someone can go with 200,000 followers and say, hey, like, give me a shout out. Like, there's not the value exchange as usual as there. The other thing that you brought up that I think was just really key, and you said it before, was being able to double down on what's working, and how you just went, right, Instagram, you saw that few spikes, you saw a few couple $100 come in and went, there's something here. Let's really dive into this. And I think that's what people really need to be able to learn, get in there.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what marketing's all about. Just throwing things against the wall, seeing what sticks, and then just getting super aggressive on it. And for us, we know that someone that joins our email newsletter is worth over $10. So we know that is the highest leverage.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So like we know that is like the highest leverage form to sell our products, and we know that it's a great way to build a relationship and further serve our community. So for us, that it's been a no-brainer, and we've kind of worked it out. Like, I think we've got very clear on the goals of our business as well.
All right, there's 2 things I really want to nail before we wrap this up. One would be going through the actual, how are you monetizing Founder other than just the magazine, because that can kind of be one of them. And let's think about what you were saying is like building your email list. And I think it's great that you know the analytics and the numbers of what everything works. So I'm on your Instagram page right now. We go straight off to the link that you've got, and you're giving away a free guide on how to get your first 10,000 Instagram followers. which is fantastic. You've got great bullets on what's going on. I really suggest people go into this. Now, the next step after this is you're going to push people to a webinar. And then from the webinar, how does things move forward? Actually, it probably helps. I obviously did my research going into this, so I went through it myself.
It's all good. Yeah, so I'll just give everyone a little bit of a background, I guess, of how I'm monetizing, and then I can take you through that exact sales funnel, if you like.
Awesome, that'd be great.
Yeah, so pretty much, the next part of the story was I, found this channel, Instagram, and we were using it to massively grow the magazine. And in a couple of months, we pretty much doubled our business for the magazine.
That's awesome.
And then what happened was, in the early days, I was just using Instagram to push to the magazine. And if you have an app, Instagram can be really powerful. Or if you have a podcast, Instagram can be super powerful because all you do is you put the iTunes link in your bio, and a lot of people on everyone's on 99.9% of people that are on Instagram are on their phone, and a lot of those people do have an iPhone. And what happens is if you put the actual iTunes link, when they press on that link, it'll just pop up. So if you have a podcast, the podcast will open directly, and you can literally from there just click subscribe or start listening to an episode. So if we put the Founder Podcast link for iTunes, if someone pressed on it, the iPhone podcast app would open up, and you could literally just press one more button, press play, and you can start listening to an episode. The same kind of thing happens with the magazine. It's an app, and they go straight to the iTunes landing page. They see a big thing with the Richard Branson cover. They see a big screenshot saying you get your free issue. So that was working really, really well. And back then, over a year ago, about 13, 14 months ago, I didn't know the power of email marketing. So I wasn't even building our email list, really. We had maybe a couple of thousand people on our email list, and that was just from people that had subscribed via our website or just random places. And what happened was, I don't know why, but some people were telling me, like some of my friends saying, like, well, I read about, Founder should be a multifaceted platform, and I was thinking about other ways we could monetize the brand, and I never thought we'd go down this online education route. And I just put an email out to our tight-knit community of 2,000 people. And I said, hey guys, look, I'm doing some cool stuff on Instagram. We've built it from 0 to 10,000 followers in 2 weeks. Like, would you guys be interested in a course? Because what happened was, we were crushing on Instagram straight away, and we wrote a blog post about it. And that blog post till this date is still the most successful blog post on our website that gets the most traffic. And it's called How to Get 0 to 10,000 Followers in 2 Weeks. And that blog post just crushed it. We got a lot of comments. It went like kind of semi-viral, and a lot of people were just sharing it and writing comments. And then I don't know, I started getting people emailing me as well after that blog post asking all these questions. And then, just kind of match things up with being a multifaceted platform. This online education industry is massive. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So all I did was just put out an email I sent out an email to our list of 2,000 people, and I said, hey guys, look, I'm getting a lot of questions about Instagram. People are asking me to consult. That's not really my thing. I just really want to grow Founder. Would you guys be interested if I put a course together, like step-by-step video course, just teaching you how we're doing this stuff? And I got like 100 people personally. I said, hit reply if you'd like me to do this. And I got like over 100, maybe 100, 150 people personally write back to me and said, Nathan, that would be amazing. And so all I did was I spoke to a friend. I knocked up a sales page, and I said, okay, I'm just going to deliver a 6-week course over a webinar once a week, and I'll record it, and then I'll eventually sell that course and make it an evergreen course. And that's what I did. And we sold that course at 97 USD, and we ended up getting 100 people to buy.
Awesome.
Which is really cool. And then we've got this next level Instagram course, and it's had many upgrades since then, and we sell it for over 1,500 USD off our website. And I guess, now we're really growing the brand, but also off the back, we're building up our back end where we're going to have a suite of online courses. So we've got the Instagram course, and now we've just launched a membership site, which is called Founders Club. And it's just a brilliant way to connect our community because we've got all these different silos. Then we've got the magazine, which is a subscription-based business. Founders Club is a subscription-based business or asset. The Instagram course is just a one-off payment. And then we're rolling out many other courses. So we'll probably have another 6 more courses by the end of this year, and they won't be taught by me. They'll be taught by other people. And then we're also going to start tapping more into advertising. And that's how we're going to monetize Founder.
This is fantastic. I really appreciate you opening up to this, Nathan, because I think this is really valuable for the listener to be able to sink their teeth into and take away and put this into their own businesses as well. I think one thing that's so key here is you built the following, you built the platform first, and that's what's given you the ability and agility to then go on and serve them for what they want. Like a simple email of being like, hey, look, people seem to be really interested in Instagram. I've done some really cool stuff in this. Do you want to know more? Suddenly turned into a $10,000 sale, like front end sale, which then is now an evergreen course that is making bucket loads. Like that's fantastic because you did such a good job growing that following. So I think this is really good.
Yeah. There's a lot to take away here, and I'm trying to go a little more in depth for you, bro, because your audience might find this interesting, and I know that your audience would have a lot of knowledge that they could potentially package up. So, yeah, pretty much, that was the first version of the course. It was pretty ghetto. Now we've got it's amazing what we deliver, and we've got hundreds of successful students. And yeah, look, the price of the course will probably go up just to reflect the amount of value that we provide with it. I know that we're one of the best in the world on how to grow an Instagram page, not only just like the results we get through Founder, but just all of our students. It's amazing some of the things they're doing and how they've changed the game for their businesses. So if people would like to learn more, you can go and download that ebook and go to foundermag.com/free. And that will give you an in-depth guide on how to get your first 10,000 followers and give you a ton more gold. So now I'm going to walk you through that funnel. So if you go to foundermag.com/free, you will see that, we've got a very, very simple landing page. And, we've got a service offering, which is a free guide on, it's quite an in-depth guide on, how to grow your Instagram page. Now, there's people that have used that guide. Like that guide is so good. So the first takeaway here is create something that you're giving away in exchange for that person's details so good that you could charge for it.
I'll just jump in there. I will back that up. That guide is absolutely amazing. Like, obviously, it looks phenomenal. Like, you've done a great job, obviously, with the design of it, but it is a very in-depth guide. Like, it's really good.
Oh, well, thank you, bro. And that's our thing. Like, we want to make our free stuff better than most people's paid stuff. So there'll be people out there that would be probably selling, an Instagram ebook. Like, there's plenty of people telling you how to do Instagram marketing. So we just wanted to blow people away and just make it so good and just show people a taste of the kind of value that we provide. So we spent over $4,000, $4,000 USD, putting together that guide from just, writers, copy editors, and designers. And we made it so good. So that's the first piece of the puzzle. Make your offering so ridiculously good. And then the next thing is understand the platform you're playing on. So a lot of people download that guide, majority from their mobile phone. So you want to make the landing page, how does it look on mobile? Like, you have to make it mobile optimized, and you have to make it, pretty simple and short and to the point. And that landing page converts at 70%.
Damn, that is fantastic.
Yeah, so we've done a lot of testing, and we've worked out a lot of things to make that a high converting landing page. So we have that free guide because we know that we have. So what we've done is we know we have an Instagram course that we want to sell. So we're going to give a ton of value away, and we're going to find people and use that guide as a lead magnet to find people that are interested in using Instagram to grow their business. So if somebody downloads that guide, instead of sending them to a thank you page, which is like what 99% of the world do, after someone downloads that guide, instead of sending them to a thank you page, we send them to a webinar registration page, because we've found to sell digital products, webinars are a really, really great way. So as soon as you download that guide, we know that you're interested in Instagram, we know that you want to use it to build your business. We've got your email address now, and we want to further that relationship with you, further help you on Instagram. We're not selling you anything. We're not trying to shove anything down your throat. We're just saying, hey, we've got, this is a weekly webinar that we run, and we it's just like, hey guys, if you want to learn more, we do this free training webinar, and we run it every week at the same time. So it's pretty much almost an evergreen funnel, and and then people sign up to that webinar, and then every week we run that webinar, and every week, I just provide so much value. I just blow people away. So if you came to that webinar, you don't even want to buy our product, like our course, which, like I said, is over $1,000 US. If you don't want to buy that course, that is totally fine. We give you so much value. And if you want more help and you want your hand held throughout the whole process, you want to join our community where you can learn from other Instagrammers. You want to use our platform to facilitate S for S. So we're we've created almost like software that it's not just information we're selling. We're creating this epic community where you can do S for S, and we've got this functionality built in and all this crazy stuff, right? So if you don't want that, that's totally fine. You want to work it all out by yourself, and but if you want to learn fast, you want to have just a out of the box solution that's going to hold your hand throughout the whole process and have support ongoing and really learn how to implement this stuff fast. Well, there's a course there for you, and that is the funnel. And pretty much if someone downloads the ebook but they don't sign up to the webinar, so 40% of people that download the ebook sign up to the webinar, which is quite good. If they do not sign up to the webinar on the spot, obviously you're going to go. We use Infusionsoft for our email marketing. You'll be taken down a different campaign where we'll tell you why the webinar is so awesome, and why it's a no-brainer to come join. And if you don't join within the week, that's fine. We won't ask you to join again. And you'll be on our email list, our house email list, and we literally send you one epic blog post about one topic that's super in depth, generally 2,000 word plus, about how to do this one thing, and then we'll send you an email about one podcast episode, and we do that. We send 2 emails to you a week, and then that's it. Just give you a ton of gold, and then every now and then we might tell you about a new product or something that we're launching, and then that's essentially our strategy, bro. Like we're going to go I could go heaps more in depth, but that's the funnel.
This is fantastic. I really appreciate you doing this. And with internet marketing these days, I find so many people want to keep their cards so close to their chest, which I think is just absolutely bollocks, because we can all help each other so much more. And that's why I appreciate you so much kind of divulging into what's going on. I think there's a lot of takeaways for the listener right now. You need to rewind if you've missed some things, start jotting them down. If you're driving, pull over, start making some notes, because this is absolutely gold, what Nathan's giving away. So I think this is great. Now, Nathan, before I let you go, mate, where would the best place for the listener right now, where can they go to sink their teeth into more? Obviously, I'd love them to be able to go to, is it founder.com/free?
Oh, Founder Mag.
Founder Mag.
Yeah, FOUNDR mag.com/free.
Where else can they go unless is that the best place for them to head right now?
Oh, look, if people want to learn more about Instagram, if you don't want to learn more about Instagram, you just want to see what we're up to, or you want to know more about entrepreneurship and want to learn from super successful entrepreneurs and just get a ton of gold content, go to just foundermag.com, FOUNDRmag.com.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to put both of those links into the show notes for them to get straight over. Nathan, I've really enjoyed this chat, mate. Thank you so much for coming on, waking up early for me, getting on, absolutely dishing it away, and we're going to have to get you back on, mate. So for the listener, I want you to get in contact with us. I want you to ask us the questions. I'm going to beg and plead to get Nathan back on later so we can start going into more for what you want. So get in contact and tell us what you really think. Nathan, thank you so much, sir.
Oh, you're welcome, Chris. Thank you so much for your time, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Happy to come back anytime.
So now it's time for you to click on over to chrisdufey.com. That's chrisdufey.com to get all the guides and show notes. And if you are wanting the workshops where I walk you through how to build your online business, click on over to chrisdufey.com/start here. This is where I can give you the exact training guides and the workshops for exactly where you're at and the answers that you need. Now, every Friday I'm coming back to you with a new episode. So be sure to subscribe, and if you haven't already, you're going to be getting the world's best insights, the advice, and the answers to give you the business, the money, the freedom, and the success and happiness that you want. And I want to give you a huge muchas gracias for being here with me. And as always, get in touch with me via the site or via social, as Ask the Pro is about me giving you the answers that you need. So ask away.